Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here is the Taco Princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
Am doing great. Andre, I am getting used to my arm hurting like hell because I got some more stuff added to Canvas Melball. It's been a nice day today. Got a nice leg day in. Good day all around. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty darn well. Got a workout in yesterday. Gonna come hang out with you tomorrow, as we record this at least. Looking forward to it. As this show video comes out, we'll be hanging out tonight watching the AEW pay per view with a bunch of our friends.
Yeah.
Shauna is coming. Super excited for that.
Yay, Shabba.
All the peeps, well, except for Cat, are coming out. So sad.
Remember how we were always like fucking Larry? Fucking
I,
cat.
I've never fucked a Larry.
My guy. Screw that head on right, sir.
uh,
Ay, ay, ay. Fucking cat, though. She's got like some fancy concert or something to go to, or, you know, it's cooler than us.
Nothing's cooler than this. I'll tell you that right now.
It's true that. True that. We digress.
And with our coolness, we're going to talk some NJPW Lonestar Shootout. Before we do that, we want to thank each and every one of you. We really appreciate all the great support you give us. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share out to all the weirdos and wackos out there, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Who's there?
I don't know. I
I
had a
don't.
dad joke. It's gone. I'm sorry.
I don't know who.
ADHD.
I don't know. I had a dad joke, but it's gone. Who?
Child. Child.
Oh, we're
Ay, ay,
here.
ay.
We're here to talk some Lone Star Shootout, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna because Lone Star Shootout from somewhere in Dallas. I didn't really track where. Somewhere in Dallas, Texas. Or, yeah, Dallas is Texas. Yeah, I'm crazy, but somewhere in Dallas, I didn't track what the venue was. Come on,
Okay.
you confused me. Don't confuse me like that.
Oh, we are off to a great start.
Oh, my brain is broken. Oh man, my
Oh, dear.
from Garland, Texas. Not even Dallas. It's from Garland, Texas, at the Curtis Caldwell Center. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
I could have swore he was yelling like Dallas or Texas at people that were at points in the show, but I could be crazy.
He could be referencing something near Dallas. I don't know.
It
I don't
probably
know.
is. There's a
It's a
lot of
big,
like
big state.
when companies go to Chicago, they're not going to Chicago. They're going to a town just outside of Chicago. So yeah,
Yeah, it's true. It's
yeah.
true.
We kick it off with and the team calling it was the team of Walker Stewart and Veda Scott. I love that tag team on commentary. I love
Mhm.
those two. Strong Survivor match to kick a show off. It's uh, what is it? The Stray Dog Army, Barrett
Yes.
Brown, returning for the first time in over a year, taking on a New Japan Academy wrestler, Matt Vandegrift.
Mhm. Mhm.
Matt catches Barrett running into the corner with his legs and like Yoda Suji style, and like smashes his face into the corner. Looked good. Then hits a Tiger feint kick through the corner. Then but he misses a moonsault because Barrett rolled. He landed on his feet and then hit another moonsault following it up. Gets a 2 count. Barrett
Doesn't
gets him.
Andrade's do that?
Pardon?
Doesn't Andrade's do that?
Yes. Yes.
And
Let's get.
Charlotte Flair started doing it also.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't think I've seen her do it in a little bit though.
husband and wife. I'm not surprised.
Uh,
What?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they're married. At least they were. I don't know if they still
Yeah.
are. Uh,
Anyway, moving on.
Barrett hits a rough looking suplex into the corner, like literally into the corner. It looked rough as hell. Hits a hard German at center after beating up on Matt, and Barrett gets two. Barrett gets the pump kick and the Osprey flip into picking up like that Osprey backflip over into the power bomb position, and it picks up. Barrett hits the power bomb, the buckle bomb into the corner, and Matt hits a spear for two. Matt misses the 450. Barrett hits the sick kick and the bitter buster, which is a brain buster. But Matt Vandergriff kicks out at 2.9. Matt slips out of the double underhook, hits a roundhouse kick, goes dropping Barrett, goes up to the top, hits the 450 splash, and Matt Vandergriff is your winner in 4 minutes in 55 seconds. I think it was. I didn't write this one down.
Yeah, it wasn't a very terribly long match, but for as long as it was actually a very engaging
Mm-hmm.
match for me. I thought it was a great opener. Um, this Vandergriff, he's gonna have a freaking hell of a career. He's very talented, agile little guy there. The wrist tape, the lack of wrist tape, that rather, always a thing for me. You usually always see people with wrist tape. He seems to perform very well without it, regardless. Very happy to see Barrett Brown again. I was actually a big fan of his when I first saw him on the strong, um, what is this thing? The strong product, the strong brand. When they first kind of started up, I remember him being a lot bigger though, a lot more
Yeah.
jacked. But I feel like he moves a lot more easy now that he's kind of like bulked down a little bit because he's still shredded. He's still very
Mm-hmm.
defined. He's just lost a lot of he used to look closer to Puck than what he was now,
Mm-hmm.
when I first saw him. I really like his, Brainbuster. His is just so it was so good for how little he is. He did give up a lot of size to Vandergriff. He is very tall, Mr. Vandergriff. I just like also saying Vandergriff, even though it's not Vandergriff, it's Vandagriff.
Vandegrift.
Vandergriff. Looks
Vandegrift.
like he could be a part of the Stray Dog army there himself. It's been a while since we've kind of seen the Stray Dog army kind of rummaging around in the strong brand product. I would like to see some more of them get back there because Barrett Brown was very, very good. But there was another guy. I can't remember what his name was. Why am
Not
I
sure.
forgetting it? He had the twisty mustache. You know the one I'm talking about? He kind of came out and did this hand dance thing.
Yeah, I'm looking him up right now. Give me 1 second.
Right, what was his name? He was in a music video. I can see his face.
Bateman.
Bateman.
Bateman. Bateman, yeah. And then you're also teamed
Bateman,
up with
yeah.
Mysterioso. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mysterioso. Mysterioso had that weird kind of collar thing that I kind of was like, that looks sus. Um, yeah, this was a tremendous opening match. I really enjoyed this. I was surprised this was I mean, it's given with the rest of the show, I felt it could have been a good opener on the main card, but that's what it is. I like the opportunity they were given, and they had a lot of people to perform for also, so that was good.
Mhm. Next pre-show match, it's Fred Rosser versus Tom Lawler. Really good back and forth. These two really, it's a lot of. This was very much a match of two guys chopping and kicking the crap out of each other. Um, Lawler and him and Rosser fighting on the apron. Um, Rosser gets a kick to the head and a knee to the face. Lawler then on the floor ends up running Rosser into the post, hits a PK. Then he does the run around the ring PK. Love that goddamn PK. Um,
Mhm.
as Lawler's come back in, strips down to the even tighter and smaller Daisy Dukes. Mel's favorite spot of the match.
We don't like it when women do it.
um, Lawler, really good back and forth here. They end up on the apron again. Lawler gets a couple pump kicks, but Rosser fights back, gets him up. But Lawler gets a guillotine, like Rosser's hanging on the ropes, like leaning forward. Like Lawler's hanging off him. It looked really like, okay, we're gonna go crashing down on the mat. Um, Rosser ends up backdropping Lawler into the ring. Then he ends up pulling him back out and hits a backdrop suplex onto the apron. Um, Lawler ends up stopping a gut check in the ring, turning it into an ankle lock, but Rosser fights, sends Lawler into the corner, hits that rolling elbow, and then he hits the gut check, followed by the boot to the head for two. Rosser stops the knee to the head, hits a running Death Valley driver for two. Emerald Flosion follow up by Rosser. Then he gets the SDF, and they're saying it's a crossface, but it actually was he was hooking in for the crossface chicken wing. given to him by Mr. Bob Backlund when he was in the WWE.
Ah.
It was an STF crossface chicken wing, which was a really kind of cool combo if he would have got it
Mm.
locked in, but he never got it locked in. Nasty knee on the brain by Lawler. Then he goes to the back to do it again. Or he goes to the back and hits one to the back of the head, but he only gets two. Lawler gets the ankle lock, gets the hooks in. Rosser transitions into the STF chicken wing, then into a seatbelt pin, and he gets the win in, I think it was 13 minutes and 3 seconds.
Mm.
And then
This was another one that I was surprised. Sorry, go ahead.
they end up like slapping each other after the match.
Yeah. Didn't they handshake too, though?
They did, but they also slapped each other too.
I mean, we saw this with Yuji Nagata and Minoru Suzuki. It's the badass, I love you, but fuck you, kind of thing at the end of the match, right? Because it was for me a surprising end. I was expecting Lawler to pick up the win in this. I wasn't expecting Rosser to pick up the win in this. I was just a little concerned going into this because we have seen this pairing before, and Lawler, he doesn't struggle in making a unique match, but sometimes Rosser does. So his stuff, depending on who he's with, even if he is with someone good, I remember the first time I think I saw these two go together, I wasn't terribly impressed with what I saw. So for me, Melbrain went back to that match, which was like way back when the Strong brand first started. And I was like, then I kind of went, you know what, I'm going to give these guys the benefit of the doubt. Rosser's been doing tremendous since joining the Strong brand. Lawler is just, he's good. He annoys me with his Daisy Dukes, but he's good. So this, I'm not surprised. This turned out to be a great match. Really got Rosser to turn it up. This, I think, was the best pairing that I've seen these two go at it, and it looks so good.
Yeah, they had a really good banger for the strong openweight title way back when
Mm,
Rosser beat Lawler for the title. That match was absolutely incredible. But they have
mm,
had a couple that were just there before too. So
mm-hmm,
again, but they turned it up tonight and they had a really strong match.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not strong, a really strong match in New Japan
Ah,
Strong.
I see what you
Yeah,
did there.
yeah. I didn't even realize I did until I realized it. We move on. First match on the main card. It is a six-man tag match. It's Atlantis making his return, teaming up with Tiger Mask, his opponent from last time, and not the original, but the second, Mascara Dorado, taking on Hechicero, Rocky Romero, and Ultimo Guerrero. Yeah, Mascara Dorado. This isn't the original Mascara Dorado. He got the name when Grand Metalik went to, or Mascara Dorado left for WWE, and he became Grand Metalik in the WWE. He took over the gimmick from there. So yeah, very young
Similar
gentleman,
to the Sin Cara thing.
very similar. Yes,
Yeah.
Ultimo cracking Atlantis with a towel, like
No, that was his loincloth.
loincloth. He cracked. I
He
knew he
wears that
cracked.
little kind of leather loinclothy thing around his stuff. He takes that on, and that's his shtick. That's his signature.
Oh,
He always hits somebody with it before the match starts.
that was such a dick move because he got him in the face too. Like that was
Yeah,
not
he
cool.
did. Yeah. And then
Uh,
tried to shake his hand right after. Like, what a
and,
guy.
and then Atlantis pulls the arm wringer off the handshake. Hey, that pop is for tomorrow for the floats. Come on.
Rude.
I'm joking.
Rude.
Save me an orange, at least. I need to have an orange float. I want to have an orange float.
It is a singular can. You think I'm downing a 12 pack right now, my guy?
I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you.
No.
Yeah,
That Friday, I'm allowed.
Atlantis pulling the arm wringer off the handshake was actually a great comeuppance for Ultimo, who was kind of the heel here.
Yes.
I really liked it. Hits your shadow in. He slides up. He does this like slide up on his knees to Mascara, just kind of trying to antagonize him. It was really cool. Then it get really
Wasn't that a guard?
what?
Wasn't that like a sparring guard? If you're trying to get somebody to wrestle with you?
Yeah, I don't
In
know.
Greco-Roman?
But he slid up on his knees.
Oh yeah, it looked so weird and
I
cool.
know.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh, he's trying to
But yeah,
pull.
it was cool.
he was trying to engage Mascara Dorado and pull him in guard is what he
Yeah.
was looking for. Yeah,
Hmm.
um, really good athletic, like really good technical back and forth, then into a really great athletic back and forth between Hechicero and Mascara Dorado. Really good. Tiger Mask comes in, beauty. It's a beauty monkey flip to Rocky. He gets that flip mule kick that he does, sending Rocky out to the floor, and hits the tope suicida. Rocky ends up stopping Tiger Mask up top, snapmares him down, and Team Rocky do the triple team. Um, Rocky only gets three of the four ever clotheslines to Tiger before Tiger fights back and hits his Tiger Bomb. Atlantis fights off Team Rocky, hitting everyone with tilt-a-whirl backbreakers. Those look so smooth, man. Like
Hmm.
that's 40 years of just pure perfection doing those tilt-a-whirl backbreakers. Dorada hits a high cross off the top to hit Yusero. Dorado gets a really cool spin flip, like this, like a flip spin into the head scissors on Rocky. Just
Oh
look,
yeah,
what this kid is doing is amazing.
so
Um,
good.
Rocky gets a beautiful rewind kick to Dorada. Ultimo and Hijisero double team, and and then he hits like a back splat, like a black hole slam in backbreaker.
Yeah.
Mm,
Mm.
I want, I,
That thing hurt.
I want Hiragi to steal that move. Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, Karumi Aragi pulling that off on somebody would wreck their day totally. Yeah.
Yeah, victory roll into a monkey flip into the rear naked choke by Hichishadow to Dorado, and then turns it into a pin for two. Like when he rolled forward and then flipped him up in the air and then caught him down the rear naked choke.
Yeah, flipped him. He got so much height on that. Ooh.
It was so good, man.
Mhm.
End of the match, the black hole slam backbreaker. The black hole slam backbreaker by Hichishadow is reversed into a pin by Dorado for two. Dorado then hits a crucifix driver, goes up to the top, hits the shooting star press, and gets the win. Again,
There
amazing.
was there was one thing that I don't know if this is what it was supposed to be,
Go ahead.
but like there was a move that Hichisieto did, which was like the spinning side. I wrote down spinning sidewalk slam thing with the arm trapped. Oh yeah, no, that would be your backbreaker thing. Okay, never mind. I just worded it really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Ultimo is looking really good. Um, from the things that I've seen him in CMLL past, he didn't look very healthy. He just his look now is completely different. He looks healthier, he looks happier. He's still performing at the tremendous rate that he does.
Mm.
He looks better to me. Um, I can't say this fricker fracker's name.
Hechisero.
So you cut out half of that, so I didn't even actually hear it.
Hechisero.
That guy was the unsung star of this match. I mean, everything that I wrote down was about him or Ultimo. um, the very technical and surprisingly light on his feet, despite his massive size. Which, if you know Lucha, that kind of seems to be the secret. Surprisingly fast and agile, despite their ridiculously massive size. Some of them. Don't even get me started on Cheeseburger Boy. Um, yeah, I don't have a ton to add to this. You kind of picked up all the good kind of spots in here. Um, I wrote down something weird about Dorado where he did something, and when he landed, I'm pretty sure he was gripping his toes. I don't know what that meant.
I have no idea.
Anyway, let's move on from here because I don't understand my writing anymore.
So we move on. Toriano versus Joey Janela. I do have to make a comment here, though. I think you and me saw a better, much longer version of this match, or
Yeah.
not. Okay, not better. We saw another version of this match at the Top Talent Pro Wrestling show last month between Janela and uh, Harlan Abbott.
How
Uh,
long was this one though?
this was only 9.5 minutes, which I think made it better.
Which was a merciful length.
Yeah, I don't know if I could handle 25 minutes of these two. There's no
Is
freaking.
that what we got at Top Talent?
I'm not 100% sure, but it felt like that, man.
It felt
Um,
like it.
yeah, Janela jumping Yano during his intro when he's being introduced. Janela says, "Welcome to my world. I want this. No DQ." So Yano agrees, and he sprays Janela in the face with the cold spray, or what it's sanitizer. Then he
Yeah,
removes
yeah.
a pad, each trying to throw each other in an exposed corner. Yano smashes Janela's face into the corner. Then Yano removes all the corner pads, so it's definitely a no DQ match now. They fight to the floor. Janela beats up on Yano. They're tossing each other into the posts, into the barricades. Janela piles chairs in the ring. He then gets the red chair and just throws it away. The crowd's just booing. Yano dodges a lariat and he ends up belly to belling Janela onto the pile of chairs. Janela gets the apron after reversing a power bomb attempt by Yano. Yano gets pulled out to the floor, but Yano ends up like sweeping Janela, and Janela gets a super kick in the back in the ring, and hit the pile driver under the pile of chairs. That looked pretty rough. Janela sets up two chairs facing each other, almost table like. He misses a swanton onto Yano on the apron. That looked just brutal. We saw them do this in at Top Talent. Uh, Yano gets the Demon Killer powerbomb onto the two chairs that are set up together for two. God damn, that looked so rough. Uh,
Yeah.
Yano ends up taping Janela to a chair, but Janela hits him and like kicks him in the dick. And the ref,
And then the ref unties him.
yeah, that
And
was
that to me is a problem.
mhm. Yeah, that's where I was like,
He's not there to untie you, Mr. Sir. You're there to freaking untie yourself. You can't get it? Too bad. You run around with that chair strapped to your ass.
yeah. So then Janela gets him up, Death Valley drivers him onto the chair, then puts a chair on top of Yano and hits a top rope double stomp onto the chair into Yano and gets a 2 count. Janela then tapes up the hands of Yano like this and goes and gets the red chair. Yano ducks the chair. Janela hits the ropes and hits himself in the face, which we saw Janela do at Top Talent. Uh, and Yano headbutts Janela in the crotch. Just goes full on forehead first, right into the crotch of Janela. Gets around behind him. Low blow, like just goes with a low blow, and then rolls him up. And Yano steals the win in 9 minutes and 29 seconds.
Merciful.
Yeah.
Merciful. I'm not a fan of hardcore shit.
Me
So
either.
like this was not my jam. I was not interested. I couldn't get into it. I'm really sorry to say I'm not a big fan of Joey Janela either. But he also tends to do these kind of matches, so that's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
When he does do wrestling stuff, it's actually pretty cool. I'd wish he'd do more of it. Um,
We're gonna see
I
him
didn't
again in
like Yano.
December. So
So this was just a match for me. Yeah, mercifully short.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see Janelle in December. We'll see who he faces in December.
Oh, it's already been announced, my guy.
Who's
I
facing?
ain't watching that match.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's going to be, you can imagine,
Okay, good to know.
you're going to be seeing some people sitting on the floor.
All right. Uh, we move on. 8-man tag match. It's the Intergalactic Gorillas, the team of Tamatonga, Tangaloa, Kevin Knight, and Kushida, taking on the Bullet Club Dogs, Alice Coughlin, Chase Owens, Clark Connors, and Gabe Kidd. Loa and Chase start, but Coughlin just is like running in, trying to get into the face of the Gorillas, and like Tamatonga's coming in. It's just really good. There was a four-way 10 punches in the corner from the Intergalactic Gorillas. Uh, what? They're the Intergalactic Gorillas. You don't wait,
Works. It works.
you don't like the Intergalactic
No,
Gorillas?
it works. It works.
Uh,
We just call them IG.
there's a really nice spot where Chase got that gets picks up has Kushida up and like bounces him off the top rope into a and like and then brings him down to the backbreaker. Looked really good. Um,
Mhm. Did he have a name for that?
no, it's and I don't know it. My favorite move is the Marvel Special where he hits somebody into the corner and then comes out. I love that.
Right, right, right.
But we didn't get to see that in this match. Coggin getting the carry, gets the carry into the repeated backbreaker, just smashing Kushida down over
Mhm.
and over, and then just picks him back up into with pure ease. Straight back up, fall away slam.
If you
They're
look
all
at the picture, he's got his lats out.
yeah. They
Crazy.
they all tag in and out, beating up on Kushida. Kushida fights back. Um, he tries to fight back. Kid hits a brainbuster for two. He steps on Kushida's head and spits in Tamatonga's face. Kushida finally fights back, fights off the group attack by Bullet Club, and Tamatonga comes in, has hitting exploders to everybody, hits a Tongan twist to Owens. Tama ends up fighting Kid off, hits a stinger splash into the corner, exploders him out. Kid drops Tama on his face into the corner, stopping the 10 punches. Knight saves Tama with a beautiful springboard double lariat, taking out, I think it was Coughlin and Connors. Everyone in and out, hitting their signatures. Owens gets a jewel heist on Loa. Tama reverses the jewel heist into a gun stun on Owens. Kid starts fighting with Tama, sends Tama out. Kushida hits the straight punch to the face, and Knight hits the pendulum DDT to Kid. Uh, End of the match though, Knight is in. Does the launch with Kushida, gets launched off the second rope, and as he turns around, uh, Connor spears the living piss out of him, and
He freaking speared him into next year, man.
they knock Kushida to the floor. He gets him in no chaser. Coughlin lifts him up, and Connors drills him down with no chaser, and he pins Knight 1, 2, 3 in 10 minutes and 52 seconds. This match was actually really gosh darn good.
Hmm. And there's so much story and just conundrum stuff happening here where people are beaking off with whoever and whatever, and it created such a tremendous story for us to watch. Because even though, Finley wasn't in this match, you could feel the presence of the Bullet Club leader just kind of yelling at everybody to obliterate everything. And that's what I'm kind of digging about this era of Bullet Club. You're absolutely right. This was a tremendous match, but that spear out of the sky, Jesus Christ. Oh, I got whiplash just watching that.
Mm-hmm.
So cruel. Yeah, I got nothing to add to this one, man.
Yeah, me too. That was rough, man. That was heckin' rough finish with that
Hmm.
spear and that no chaser, but really strong 8-man tag. I really enjoyed this.
Hmm.
I hope we get some more intergalactic gorillas, man.
They're on the same team.
Sort
They're
of.
in that chaos Hantai mishmatch.
I don't really consider God part of Hontai anymore. I think they're on their own. I think they're just God now. At least I.
And House of Torture aren't a part of Bullet Club
Oh
either.
no, they're Bullet Club. They're still officially
And
Bullet
they're
Club.
Hantai.
No, they're on their own.
When you see them come out, yes, they're Hantai. Sorry.
We move on. Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships,
Oh, yeah.
ELP and Hikuleo Gorillas of Destiny taking on the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Little annoyed. Oh, that reverb really loudly.
Why are
Little
you
annoyed.
annoyed?
The West Coast Wrecking Crew got snubbed out of the World Tag League this year. A little bit. I feel like they could have had a great, like. While I know you're not the biggest fan of Isaacs, I think they really could have had.
No, it's Nelson.
Oh, sorry, you're not a big fan of Nelson. I think they would have done really well in the tag league this year. Like, not, they may not have been like a contending team, but I think they deserved a shot. They've done a lot with New Japan and North America. I think they deserved a shot at the tag league.
I agree. I agree because the two of them have been working very hard, and to feel like Isaacs has kind of been the only one of the two rewarded in that, where he got to go over. with Tom Lawler when he was part of the, what was it, G1 last year?
Yeah,
Or was it the Cup?
no, it's
I
G
can't
one last
remember.
year. It was G1.
Yeah, he had a tremendous fan base started there. So it does shock me as well that they weren't given the option, but maybe there's something, you know, we're not seeing that is preventing them from being over. Maybe there is a desire to be there, but there is maybe a paperwork issue or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but take us into this match, man.
Again, really strong match. God actually attacked West Coast Wrecking Crew early on. They send him out to the floor. ELP has the assisted rope walk dive out to the floor. They're fighting back and forth. Isaac ends up pulling ELP out of the ring at one point and does the walk around suplex. And Nelson comes like a bullet out of the ring and suicide dives Hikuleo really hard. It looked great. And then Isaacs end up just dropping ELP onto Hikuleo on the floor. It looked really good. Um, Isaacs gets the deadlift and he's like squatting ELP.
Well, he's sure not going to squat Hikaleo, that's for sure.
Honestly, I believe he could. You see that dude's legs?
If Hikaleo didn't like move,
Yeah, I'm just saying.
was
Like,
pretty stiff, his
you get
core
him,
held up, maybe.
you get him on his shoulders and rock out some squats there.
Mm,
I,
maybe,
I think so.
maybe.
Nelson walking ELP with the cartwheels back and forth, and then the hip thrust into the back rake that ELP used to do when he was with Bullet Club.
Yeah, with Ishimori, yeah. The Dermis Destroyer.
Yeah, the Dermis Destroyer. Um, Beautiful snap scoop slam by Hikuleo to Royce Isaacs. Just on point, man. ELP holding Isaac. Hikuleo chops him in the chest and the ropes twice. God then hit the big boot UFO combo to Isaacs for two. Sudden death by ELP, but Isaac stops the choke slam. ELP goes for sudden death, but hits Hikuleo, and ELP is roll up for two. Nelson hits the high knee into the Royce Isaacs German to ELP for two. Nelson hits a pop up power bomb into a monkey flip onto the shoulders of Vikic. It was just this weird, crazy, athletic, weird spot. He tosses him onto the knees of Nelson. Uh, there's a Dominator neckbreaker combo by West Coast Wrecking Crew, and Isaacs hits a pile driver. Nelson hits an elbow drop, but Hikuleo ends up uh, launching Nelson into the ref to break up the pin. Hikuleo stops Nelson using the belt, but Isaac hits him with a low blow. Nelson hits him with the belt. Nelson they go to hit ELP, but Nelson accidentally hits Isaacs with the belt, and ELP hits him with sudden death. He pins Isaacs, and he gets the win.
Mhm. So now that I've said that I'm not a fan of Terrell Nelson, I'm going to go ahead and say that this was the best match I've seen him wrestle in my personal viewing history. There was usually there's some point where he slips, falls, or stumbles or something, and he had the same problem that I don't remember the bald one's name in FTR. Um, but like the reason I didn't like him is when I first started seeing him in WWE, he had a tendency to mess up, and when he messed up, he couldn't mentally get over that hurdle. For the rest of the match, you could see he was overthinking everything he was doing because he was so focused on the one F up. Whereas the bearded one, he didn't have that. If he effed up, it was just like, okay, and moving on. Like he wasn't trapped by that. He wasn't limited by that. And I feel that there were points like that with Nelson, and specifically in the beginning of the Strong brand, where he would have a slip up or a hiccup and he would struggle to get back into the match. This was not a problem this match. There was no effery in this one at all. And I was very happy about that. It was a very good, solid tag team match. And honestly, I know you're big on Hikuleo and ELP. Up until this match, I wasn't sold. I really wasn't sold. This match was what sold me on both of these teams. Um, yeah, they had a tremendous banger. I really enjoyed this. I'd love to see them fight again for it because I kind of feel there's a little retribution coming anyway. I think Team Filthy has to actually start to get to a little bit more of a foothold in NJPW because since Lawler doesn't have the strong title anymore, I feel like Team Filthy is still a staple of the NJPW strong brand, but there's no representation of them in the strong brand right now. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Just don't give Limelight a title. That's all I ask.
Oh no, Limelight needs that never open weight title, man. I'm joking.
But
I'm
I would actually love to see that match just to see freaking Shingo pumping Bomber into next week.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. So we get again really good match. After the match, they Judy actually posed with a kid in the crowd, hand him the belts. He's holding the belts, all proud where they're posing with them behind him. It was really cool.
It was adorable, yes. It was very, very cute. That kid's life was made.
Oh, 100% it was.
Those belts were probably also very heavy.
Oh, I guarantee they were. I've held the NJPW tag team titles. Not very light. I'll tell you that right now. Not like crazy heavy, but not very light. So that
Yeah.
title can't be any better.
The Stardom ones are good. They're not too heavy.
Yeah, but yours is replica. I held an actual. Hmm, it's true.
Well, I guess you don't get to touch it.
I'm
Moving on.
joking with you. We
Rude.
move on. It's Mystico versus TJP. I'm going to preface this by saying I didn't like this match. I found it really awkward. Um, it didn't flow for me. I don't know
Cha,
why.
cha, cha. This is what I expect out of a CMLL match. This is why I don't watch the product very often.
Yeah, so Mystico is the former Sin Cara in WWE. He wasn't never part of the Lucha. That was the other Sin
I
Cara.
know.
Yeah,
I just use it as a way to make fun of it.
yeah. They brawl on the floor. TJP gets the advantage. He runs. Actually, wrote he runs Kata. runs a Mystico into the corner hard in the ring. A guy in the crowd yells, "Anyone except TJP!" I was just like, "You dick!" Uh,
Rude.
Mys- TJP was the obvious heel in this match. He was,
Public enemy, obviously.
yeah, he is healing it up. Even though he's a big face in Japan, I guess he's a heel in North America. Mystico hitting arm drags and tosses, sends TJP to the floor, hits a plancha, runs TJP into the guardrail. Mystico chopping him hard against the guardrails. TJP catches the 619 in the ropes, gets a Pinoy stretch in the ropes, looks really good. He gets a hammerlock arm breaker in the ring. Scorpion Deathlock turned into a Muto leg lock, turned into a surfboard. It turned into a pin for two by TJP. Uh, Mystico hitting a handspring into the leg scissors, then a rope walk arm drag, um, sending TJP to the floor. And Mystico hits a suicide dive, and he hits his own head on the guardrail. Holy, that's Sin
Yeah.
Cara for you. Um, Springboard splash into the ring by Mystico for Dose. Mystico hits Swanton Bomb for Dose. TJP hits the boots to Mystico coming into the corner, hits a tornado DT. Mystico kicks TJP when he goes up top. They battle up top. TJP slips out, and he hits a cheeky Nando's kick
Mm-hmm.
of his team leader to Mystico, but Mystico just kind of just drops down and hits TJP with a super kick. He doesn't even sell the cheeky Nando's. It was my biggest issue with this match was Mystico not selling shit. Like it,
Lucha.
oh, dude, we watched Atlantis sell. We watched Guerrero sell.
Because they adapted to the style.
I know that, but they
They
were
are
all
smart about the marketing. Mystico has always, like, I've always had a very not good opinion of Mystico, this version of Mystico, because since he returned to CMLL after going to WWE, he just kind of has had this, like, little bit of arrogance, a little bit of ego on him, and it comes through in his wrestling for me. He really does wrestle like he thinks he's better than everybody, but then this is the quality of match that he gives us. He doesn't adapt to the North American styling at all, where we sell. He just does the lucha libre stuff, where they do the stuff and then they hair flip
Yeah,
or like mask flip or whatever. They're
yeah,
not like Ruth does the hair flip, but like that's what they really kind of do down there. So like, I'm not surprised that he didn't really sell.
yeah. So he hits a moonsault, but then he immediately gets, but TJP gets some knees up. Briscoe immediately goes into a power slam, and that's where it's just like, TJP
Mm.
reverses the head scissors into the octopus, turns it into a pin for two. Springboard splash from Mystico for dose. That Mystica into the Fujiwara armbar, and TJP taps out. And I was thankfully it was over.
I also want to say I hate that armbar. I don't like how he does it when he, you know how I feel about overselling, and I'm a huge Kota Ibushi fan, but Ibushi is a just terrible overseller sometimes. Mystico, when he gets into that armbar, I get when he reef on it, he does it too much. Like where he's reefing his body and then reefing his hand at the same time, looking like he's jacking off somebody's arm, and then at the same time, I get the point of the elbow, but it literally looks too ridiculous for me. Maybe I'm just being too critical of the guy, but like I really have not enjoyed his wrestling since he's returned from the WWE
Again, and
or
why he has a
TJP.
big and why Mystico has a big head about him, I don't understand. Because hey, you went to WWE, you failed, you were kicked out for being a dick and not being able to adapt your style, also being just kind of shit in the ring while you were there. How you have a big head after you came back, I don't understand.
I really don't either because I could name 5 wrestlers in CMLL right now on the top of my head that I personally think perform better. Just sucks.
Yeah,
I would have personally liked to see someone like Volador Jr. in this match instead of Mystico. Hell, Angel Deroro, Golden Angel, that guy's freaking so good. Or his brother, freaking He-Man himself, Niebla Roja.
yeah,
That would have been great.
yeah. I assume so.
Are you muted? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, we move on. It's Eddie Kingston and Satoshi Kojima for the strong open weight championship. I'm not even going to go through this match. This match is just the two of them chopping the shit out of each other, lariating the shit of each other. Um, Kojima hitting DDTs, Eddie hitting back fists. It was great. Like,
Strong style match through and through.
my biggest issue with this match is I felt it was too short. It
I
only went
agree.
it only went 10 minutes and 43 seconds. This is
So
your
short.
strong title. This should have been at least 15 minutes of these two just kicking the crap out of each other. I loved it, man. Kojima hitting a beautiful brainbuster at one point. Like, I gets a
An
Koji
actual
cutter.
one, not a Tenzon one.
Yeah, gets a Koji cutter in there. It looks so good. Eddie hitting Northern Light bombs in this. In the end, though, Eddie hits a lariat to stop Kojima's lariat. Eddie hits the Northern Lights bomb for two. He hits two more spinning back fists, and then hits the Northern Lights bomb for the win. Again, it's two dudes just smacking each other up. I'd be going through just telling you DDT here, a chop there, a chop here, a chop there, a lariat here, a lariat there. I loved Eddie at the beginning though, selling the shoulder tackles.
Yes.
That was beautiful selling there.
Very
After the
smart.
match though, Kid comes out, attacks Eddie, hits him with the strong title. He says it's always these guys. I hit him in the back of the head. Osprey made the same mistake, and I will bury him on the 16th. I think he said. So does that mean he's facing Osprey in December after the tag league's over? That's
What show is that day? Is that or is he referencing Kingston? It would make sense that he would be fighting Kingston. He attacked Kingston.
well,
It wouldn't make sense to me that he attacks Kingston but then attacks him to face off with Osprey. They're not even connected.
and the 16th doesn't make sense because the tour is over on the 10th, and there's two shows on the 22nd and 21st. that I don't know. He
He's
made a,
drunk. He usually is.
yeah, he yelled about Osprey, and then I don't know what. Maybe he's talking, or maybe he was talking about this because it's the third. Maybe he said the 13th because that's Battle in the Valley. Maybe he's talking about this match, but he said
Maybe.
Osprey made a mistake, and I'm like, I don't understand why where Osprey came into this, but
I think I mean, you and I both know he's the Billy Goat. It's Will Ospreay.
hmm,
You want to get some cheap clout? Mention Will Ospreay's name, man. I
true.
mean, kid needs it right now. He's been doing very well, kid, and he has that win over Tom Lawler, doesn't he?
Yeah, he beat
Or did
Lawler
Tom
last
Lawler
month.
beat him?
No, he beat Lawler. He cheated, but he beat him.
Yeah. So I understand where the cockiness is coming from, but yeah, I don't understand the Osprey thing. I mean, maybe he's got to do what he's got to do to try to add some credibility to himself. But the win over Lawler probably saying that would have probably gotten him just as much clout. Didn't have to bring up Osprey. Kind of confused me. But I suspect it's Kingston that he's going to be taken on in that, and not Osprey. Which
Yeah.
I'm interested to see because Kid is a very chaotic version of that UK strong style.
Hmm.
And Kingston has really adapted the Japanese strong style very, very good. So to see the two clash, that's going to be good. I just hope there's no shenanigans. Just leave
Me,
them alone. Let them do their shit.
yeah, me too. Very much so. So, do you have any more on this match?
No.
All right.
Oh, except for we almost got an elbow drop from Kojima. Almost.
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 Hopefully, he wouldn't
So
have. Hopefully, he wouldn't have done it to the balls. But
CM Punk. The best gift that Kojima Satoshi has given us was the elbow drop to CM Punk's balls.
yeah, it's true. So we get a video. Beretta says it's been 4 years. What would it have been like if he had never left New Japan? But he's showing up. He's showing up. He doesn't have his friends with him. I'm going to show and New Japan, the fans, and Shingo Takagi what he is all about. Again, great, quick little promo. That's all you needed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were doing nice little things throughout the show, yeah.
Yeah, TJP had one earlier on talking about how
Mhm.
he was all about respect, but Mystico has like he's always respected Mystico, but now
It's personal.
it's personal. Yeah. We move on to like my other least favorite match of this night. John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta versus David Finlay and Kenta. Not a bad match, but not particularly good. Um,
I was angry. I messaged you after watching this match and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Oh no, that was
yeah.
Astrid. I messaged you that I was annoyed about it, but I messaged Astrid. I was mad.
Mhm.
Oh, was I mad? I have calmed down since, and I have more professional opinions about the cluster that I watched. Take
Mhm.
us into it, my friend.
Yeah, so Bullet Club attacks during the entrance of. So the BC attacked during the entrance of the BCC. The Bullet Club and the Black
Make that any
Label
more
Club.
confusing for me, could you?
Yeah, they brawl on the floor. Mox is drop rib first under the guardrail, which we didn't see, but the announcer said it, so that's why I wrote it. They're beating up. They're double teaming Yuta. They get in the ring. Bell finally goes. Bullet Club tagging in and out, beating up on Yuta. Um, Kenta and Yuta trading strikes. Yuta gets an atomic drop and an enziguri to tag out. Mox in with Kenta. Delayed pile driver by Mox to Kenta. I thought he was like confused when he was standing there, but then the announcer's going, he's letting all the blood drain to the top of his head. It was really weird. I thought he was confused. I really
Yeah.
did. I really did. Hammer and anvil elbows. They trade kicks. Mox catches one, turns into Texas Cloverleaf, but Finley comes in to stop it. But Mox like just holds the hold and just looks at Finley like he's crazy. I was like, "What are you doing? Break the hold! Like sell the kick, douchebag!" Um, like he finally breaks it, and then Yuta comes in attacking Finley. Moxley hits just a cutter out of nowhere to Kenta. It was kind of odd. Um, Mox gets crushed up top. Kenta sends Yuta out. Kenta hits a PK. Uh, Finley beating up on Moxley. Finley getting biting the forehead. Finley. This is where I thought I was expecting Moxley to bleed, but he didn't. Um, like Finley's biting Moxley's fingers, and like ew. Why would you put that man's fingers in your mouth? Like
You
ew.
don't know where those have been.
Yeah. Uh, Mox is a hard discus Larry to tag out. Yuta and just like on fire here. Um, you like Finley goes and tosses him out of the ring. But Yuta grabs the rope, swings himself out, and then swings himself back in. And just comes in and Germans the shit out of Finley for two. Looked really good.
Mhm.
Uh, Kenta Zing's trying pinfalls a few times to no avail. It's a hard DDT. Yuta ducks the title strike by Kenta and hits an angle slam for two. Moxley and Finley brawling. Moxley hits a backdrop driver. Finley hits an exploder. They keep brawling. Finley hits a spear. Kenta gets tagged in, hits the coup de grace off the top. I know you don't like that move.
Hmm. No, I don't. No.
Mox avoids the
Very good.
GTS. Oh, sorry. Mox avoids GTS. They trade strikes. Kenta hits the palm strikes. GTS by Kenta is reversed into Death Rider. And Moxley pins Kenta.
Because fuck Kenta, I guess. It's always fuck Kenta Day in NJPW. At some point in time, they need to stop punishing him. I would really like to see Kenta start to, win some stuff in his own freaking company. That'd be great. Um, I agree with you. I did not like this match. I would actually say this was my least favorite match of the night, and it all is because of Mr. Mox. Mr. Mox Pox. First of all, I don't watch, just full disclaimer. I do not watch AEW. I have no desire to. I sort of do because Mariah May is there, but like that is my only desire. Even Takeshka cannot convince me. Not even Swerve can convince me to watch AEW right now. But John Moxley is the freaking reason I will not watch this show. This man is supposed to be one of your freaking biggest stars. And he wrestles in sweatpants with duct tape on the ankles. What? You're muted.
The
Thank
tape
you
was
for muting
around.
yourself, but you're muted.
The tape was around his boots.
For what purpose? Put the pants in the freaking boots. Get some professional gear.
He's been wearing these
One
sweatpants for a
of
long
these
time.
people on this team right here looked like a legitimate professional representing AEW, and I'm currently pointing to him. The other one looks like they found him on a bus stop outside, put some fucking shoes on him, and we're like, let's go, bud. You gotta fight. We're gonna brawl. And in came John Moxley. I do not like this guy's style. The star of this show was Yuta. This was a Yuta showcase because when he got in there in the beginning and he was getting his shit wrecked by Finley and Kenta, he was selling it so good. He looked so good. But then when he got in there and it was his turn to fire up on the guys, he fired the frick up. He was matching the energy that he was supposed to give and making up for Moxley's absence of it. Give this man something. I have been hearing a lot of online negativity surrounding this man, and after this match, I want to frickin' know why. Because this was not something that was bad for this guy. This was frickin' incredible. This was embarrassing for John Moxley.
Yeah. Again, I'm not a big Mox guy, so I'm not going to defend him here because again, his style is not. I don't really care for it. It's just that walk and brawl style that he has that I really don't care for. And when he throws moves in, it just looks
We
weird.
call it sober fist now?
I don't know if he's sober.
I
Didn't
sure
look.
hope it is, because, like, gosh dang.
Yeah.
Frick, man. I was so, and now I'm fired up about it again. This
Let's
was
fire.
great.
Let's fire up the Zack Sabre Jr. versus Mike Bailey. Just a flurry early, just speedball, just going all out, just
Hmm.
attacking Sabre early. Looked so good. He boots Sabre off the apron, hits the triangle moonsault to the floor, kicks to the chest against the barricades by Bailey. Sabre dodges a kick, gets the ankle twisting it. Uh, they're on the apron. He snaps the neck on the apron, twisting him up. It looks so good. Um, Saber attacking the leg of Bailey, twisting the foot, like working because again the bare foot, so he's working the foot, working the toes. It made it work. They worked his barefootedness into this match, and I liked it. I know you don't like the bare feet, but they made it work.
It gives me
Uh,
anxiety because those tootsies now they become just like those fingies. You can start twisting your finger, you start twisting your big toe. You're not going to be happy.
yeah, Bailey getting a beautiful axe kick and then the down kick and the running shoot start press for two. Um, Great dodges by both men of the kicks and the reversals they're doing to each other. And Bailey gets a penalty kick, but Saber gets the knees up on the moonsault knees, and both of their legs are hurt because of the two sets of legs crashing together. So good. They're trading seated kicks at each other. Saber avoids a kick, and he hits like a slap. Bailey hits a super kick. Saber hits a roundhouse. They both drop. Saber stomps both knees into the mat. He pulls a monkey flip into an inverted figure four. Looked really good. Saber getting the heel hook. Bailey pulls them to the apron. They're exchanging strikes on the apron. Then they start. Then as Bailey's standing, Saber's just up kicking the shit out of him, and then Bailey like turns around, hits the moonsault knees onto Saber on the apron. Look good, and they go tumbling to the floor. Double jump senton bomb off the top by Bailey to the floor. 3 minutes left now in the 15-minute time limit. Tornado kicks avoided, and the tornado TDT is avoided. Bailey hits the tornado. He does get him getting the tornado kick and the ultimate weapon, which is that backflip off the top into the double knees. Um, but Saber kicks out of 2.9. Saber catches the kick, transitions into the Zack driver, but only two. 2 minutes left. They trade roll up. Saber and I guess the rear naked choke. They're each getting a hold of each other with pins and holds. Fall away moonsault by Bailey for two. PK by Bailey. Hits the moonsault knees to the back of Saber. Looks great. Saber hits a flying triangle. When he's going for a tornado kick, he just jumps up in the air and grabs him in a triangle. Turns it,
Solid.
yeah, beauty. Turns it into the omoplata, then turns it into the double arm bars. Saber wrenching on the arm, and then he pulls the pinky out of place on Bailey, and Bailey gives up at 14 minutes and 54 seconds, 6 minutes, 6 seconds from the end of the match.
Ouch.
And then the ref literally has to like straighten the finger of Bailey.
I just give it a little yank.
Oh,
I do it
oh
all the time. It's not a big deal. It's not that deep. It actually is. It hurts like a mammy jamma. But yeah, yeah, the this match made up for whatever frickin' happened in the match before. I forgot about that bullshit. It took me a day to get back into watching the show though after that, because goddamn. But this made the rest of the show so good for me. Um, the arrogance that Zack Sabre Jr. had in this was just so nice. It brought me back to like Suzuki Gun. Zack Sabre Jr., all he was missing was Taka Michinoku coming out and being a sound guy. I loved it. Um, but just the watching Bailey, who's like usually just that positive, but once that bell rings, focused and in on that, we could see him getting frustrated, starting to get angry, starting to lose control of his emotions against Zack Sabre Jr., where we saw Zack Sabre Jr. maintaining that calm, maintaining that he knew exactly what he was doing. He was setting Bailey up, and I loved it. The technicality of these guys was just freaking awesome, but the trades of the strikes was so good because I felt that in strength, despite Bailey being so much shorter than Zack Sabre Jr., I feel that they were comparable in strength. Just because Mike Bailey has that very good like martial arts background. And even though Zack Sabre Jr. is really, really good with those strikes, I don't feel that he has the same background as Bailey. So he doesn't his strikes are not his strongest suit, we'll put it that way. But he really did stand up to Mike Bailey in regards to strikes, and Mike Bailey stood up to Zack Sabre Jr. in regards to technicality. This was a tremendous back and forth. I really enjoyed this match.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I
Hmm.
thought these two just absolutely killed it in the ring, man.
Hmm.
Just tore it up. Yeah. I
They did.
they this isn't like match of the year quality for me, but it's a straight up phenomenal match, man. Like
Hmm. As I
so,
said, great way to follow up what happened before.
yeah. So we move on to women's. It's the women's
Hmm.
IWGP Women's Title match: Mayu Iwatani versus Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
No, I'm literally going by the ring announcer and the commentary. Stephanie Vaquer. That's how the
They're
ring
both
announcer.
white as white can be.
The ring announcer said Vaquer.
Do me a favor, ask Andreas
I don't care.
afterwards.
I'm going with the ring. I'm going with the ring announcer. He's
Take us into the match.
just because he's the same nationality and Chilean as her doesn't mean he knows he's right. Vaquer coming out with her CMLL World Title and her Women's Tag Team Title. Uh, Good back and forth to start the match. Each trying to get the upper hand, headlocks and pin exchanges. Mayu gets a roll up out of the corner into the drop kick. Vaquer hits a super kick. She gets a dragon screw out of the corner to Mayu that like she hooked the one leg in the ropes and then dragon screwed the other leg out. Looked so good. Um, Mayu tries a sunset flip, but Vaquer or Fakie, whatever the kick you want to call it. Stephanie stomps the eyes and then hits a running leg drop for two. Stephanie with the headbutts to Mayu and choking and kicking Mayu on the ropes. Mayu gets a head scissors and drop kicks to Stephanie out of the ring, but is kicked on the dive out, and Stephanie hits the springboard cross for two. Mayu hits a super kicks the heck out of Stephanie, and after slipping out of the package pile driver, she then follows up with a dragon suplex. Stephanie rolls to the floor, and Mayu hits the tope suicida to the floor. Mayu gets her back in, goes for hits the frog splash for two. She goes back up, but gets caught into a triangle choke when she goes for the moonsault. Looked like that was a Sabre Junior moment right there. Like catching her in the triangle out of the moonsault. But Mayu gets to the ropes. Stephanie headbutts and Mayu slaps her, but Stephanie hits a release German. Meteor in the corner by two by Stephanie. Mayu stops the lariat into a crucifix driver for two. Super kick, buzzsaw kick for two. Mayu hits a tombstone, goes to the top, hits the moonsault, and gets the win.
The red and black gear on Vecchietta was great. I really, really like that. It fit her. It was also tailored to her very, very well. It just cinched her waist in, which is naturally very petite. She had some peekaboo cutouts on the side. It just looked really, really professional, very sleek. It didn't move either. Very, very impressive because North American gear tends to move around a lot. Um, I enjoyed Mayu Iwatani coming in without her mask for this intro. It enabled everyone in the venue to kind of get a look at her, especially if they didn't know who she was. But I also felt it gave us, as the fans who do know her, the opportunity to see her reaction to stepping out of the curtain and into another kind of environment that she's obviously used to. She's been over here before, but it's been a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Vecchia was savage in this one. She was really working that heelish kind of angle in this for me. She was kicking hard, she was striking hard, she was doing her moves hard. Everything was very serious, very dominant from her in this one. Um, she was made for this style. Like, I feel like the lucha thing is just a secondary thing. I feel like Japanese strong style is probably a, a hidden thing in her that is starting to unlock with her facing people like Mayu Iwatani, facing people like Julia. Um, I would like to make the radical. proclamation, send her over with the Fantastic Mania tour. Like, send her on the same flight, but then the guys go to NJPW and she comes to Stardom. Bring her over to Stardom for a few weeks. Let her do a 2-week tour with Stardom. I personally have a list of people I would love to see her fight, including Thekla, Momo Watanabe, Mirai. Mirai and her would have one hell of a slobber knocker. Azumi would be another great one. Pick up on that speed. But you know who I think she would give the best match to and who would give her the best match? Yuna Mizumori.
Hmm?
The
That'd be really good.
styling, I think, would be really, really good. I would love to see Yuna face her. It'd just be a great match. Um, that triangle choke that you mentioned, what made it even smarter of her to do is, did you see what she was doing with her other leg? She had the one leg up and like choking and pulling her into the one leg. With her other leg, she was actually forcefully kicking out Mayu's feet so that Mayu couldn't actually gain her footing. She couldn't stand back up. So she was forced to go deeper and deeper and lay down into that triangle choke. I've never seen anyone do that.
No.
I thought that was a really cool, unique thing for her to pull out. And when I noticed that, I was like, oh, ooh, she's got that really smart technical background. Seeing her against Julia, ooh, and Momo. Momo's got that great technical background also. Would love to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing else on this one.
Some great. This is a really good match. I really like
Mhm.
seeing both of them go at it. And this was actually Mayu Iwatani's first time defending the IWGP Women's Championship in a New Japan ring.
Oh, yeah, would make sense. Yeah.
She won it in Stardom. She defended it against Utami in Stardom.
Oh, yeah, she did.
She did.
Who was at Battle of the Valley? Oh, that was Kyrie.
That was
Never mind.
yeah, that was Kyrie at Battle of the Valley, who dropped it to Monet, who ended up dropping
Mhm.
it to Mayu at a Stardom show in the summer.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm. Hey, but like, it's been, she's defended it a few times now. And I'm impressed with every time that she's kind of come out of it. I hope she continues to do well, but I do want to see her face some more a variety of people. I'm curious to see who else, because she said she wanted to face more people from around the world. I'm curious if we could see some people maybe considering like the Rev Pro people.
yeah.
Like, who's
This
that?
was
Who's
only
that lady who faced Jazzy Gabbard for the initial competition of this? Ava White?
something like that. Yeah, this was actually Mayu's only her second defense of this title.
It's still more than one.
She won it in April, and she
Yeah.
defended it in the summer against Utami, and she defended against Vaquer. Yeah, yeah. Where I think Julia's had more defenses in that in a shorter time. Hello.
I don't know what to say. You- They're both working, so
Oh,
they're
yeah.
both Okadoing the whole thing. So,
No, I'm not. I'm not arguing it because again, both are doing great work.
or you're just
Yeah.
playing Julia. That's what you're doing.
Well, Julia has one, two, three, four, five defenses since she won the title in July. So, just you know,
Well, I mean, the IWGP Women's Championship is more linked to NJPW. I feel. I know. 50%ish, I guess, with NJPW versus Stardom. Whereas the NJPW Strong Women's Championship, I feel, is getting a lot more attention because it is more of the North American brand,
mhm,
but also like they're making that push to really break out here in the North American market. So to me, that kind of makes sense, especially with someone so marketable as Julia. But like Mayu Iwatani has been here before. She is a recognizable face to people maybe our age, which do make up a larger demographic of professional wrestling fandom. So hopefully we start to see more of Mayu. I would personally like to.
Mhm.
I mean, they certainly do enough NJPW stuff in America now that they could bring some of these girls over.
And I really hope, like, with what maybe what Stardom is doing with Julia, is trying to give her this prominent role, and maybe trying to resign her so she doesn't leave for WWE. That could be a possibility and big part of their push to have her come over
Hmm.
and do all this stuff. That could be a big thing with that.
That's also valid, yeah.
Yeah. So we move
I
on.
worry about that. I
It's
worry about
time.
that a lot.
It's time for the main event of the evening. It's Shingo Takagi
Neat.
versus Trent Beretta for the Never Openweight Championship. Again, this is a match I am not going to go through point by point because it was 25 minutes of these two kicking the crap out of each other. The suplexes by Takagi in this were insanity. He was tossing Beretta around. Um, just both these guys, like Beretta, dude, like grabbing a table at one point when they're on the floor, and he gets stuck on the cable from what he wanted to do. So you end up just throwing it into Takagi's face.
Yeah.
Looks, oh my god.
Improvise.
Yeah, and they get into this point in the ring. He hits it, ends up shoving the ref down, and then he hits a Death Valley driver through a table to Takagi. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, these two were, and he ends up before that though. He actually ended up hitting his. Oh no, it was a Dude Buster tornado DT. It wasn't the actual Dude Buster, but like, um, Trent misses trying to hit Takagi with a table. Takagi gets it, smacks the crap out of Trent with it, and it actually ends up cutting Trent Beretta open hard way,
Yeah.
and he ends up pouring blood in this match. They end up on the floor. He hits Beretta with another piece of the table, runs Trent into the post. Takagi with strikes back in the ring. He hits a German and a half and half. Or sorry, Trent fights back with two Germans, follows it with a beautiful half and half suplex, and hits that running knee strike to the head for two. Um, just these guys are doing such good work together. The gory special slam that Takagi does, I love that. Um, Victory roll by Trent is reversed into Made in Japan for two. Like just a great transition there. It was so good.
Hmm.
Beretta actually hits a Gotch style pile driver in this match. So good. Um, just so good back and forth. Trent gets a dude buster at one point, just and you're thinking, oh my god, is it over? Um, Chikagi gets a ground cobra, which is also known as a twister. And Trent fights and fights, gets to the ropes. End of the match. Trent hits a headbutt, but he gets caught on the slingshot spear. It's turned into the rope assisted GTR. And Takagi hits Last of the Dragon and gets the win in 25 minutes and 44 seconds. This is the best match I've ever seen Trent Beretta wrestle, and I want to see him do more of this. Like,
This is the Beretta that we used to kind of have in NJPW.
mm,
This is the Beretta that I've missed since he left NJPW. I say that a lot about some guys that just leave NJPW. And then I end up not liking them anymore, Kenny Omega. Um, this match was freaking incredible, though. These guys just hammered it. Beretta is used to this style. I mean, he ate, slept, lived, breathed this style. Rapongi Vice. I still have that song on my playlist. I love that song. It's so fun. I wish that he came out to that still.
me
Like,
too.
that was just a banger.
Well, I wish he would have come out to it tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Rocky was there. Could have come out and supported his friend.
And like,
No reason why I couldn't.
but he did say he was coming with no friends. He did say in his promo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, Takagi didn't really have a choice in the matter, but yeah, Takagi. I mean, what can we say about Takagi though? That dragon, he's deceptively quick for how big and I'm sorry about how old he is. I mean, this man just freaking moves. There was times where he hit the ground and he was suddenly back up on his feet again. And I was like, Beretta hasn't even landed and turned around yet. You're already coming back at him. He's just so fast. And he's bulked. I don't know if you noticed, he's bulked a lot in the last month. Like he barely fit in his pants. He bulked so much with his back and stomach, you pervert.
That's what I was assuming he meant.
Yeah, I'm sure. Based on your reaction, I'm sure.
I,
Anyway, Beretta though, that man is just so good at what he does. The selling, the freaking moves, the way he expresses, like his facial expressions, he's so good. I really dislike that he is not higher up in the pedestal of where he is because that man works so freaking hard. Even his mom comes to work with him, for goodness sake. I don't even watch the show and I know that.
imagine if this man had never left to go to AEW. Like, just
If he never left, he would probably be never open champion.
yeah, he would have, like, dude, I could just imagine what he would
Could
have been
you
doing.
imagine the matches that we have missed out on with him and Osprey in the G1? Him
Yeah.
and Okada?
Yeah, this dude had a potential, and he ended up, like, he took the paycheck. I don't blame him, man. That money would have been pretty sweet, no matter, like, and not having to
Mm,
travel to Japan like, it's a bonus in a way, not having to travel 15 hours to wrestle for a month away from home. Like, I get it. Like,
yeah,
yeah. So
that
post,
sucks for us. But
yeah,
he is doing pretty well. He's on the show regularly. And again, like I said, his mom is there. You get to spend time with your mom. That's pretty freaking cool. And she gets to be a part of the show.
get your mom a
She's
paycheck.
driving the car,
He's getting his mom a paycheck. It's pretty awesome.
right? What's her name? Sue?
Yeah, Sue Beretta.
Mama Sue? Yeah,
Yeah. So post
Mama
match,
Sue.
yeah, post match we get Takagi says, Trent, next time no DQ. We do it again. Please come back. And the crowd chants Trent, 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 Trent. And the
Mhm.
crowd starts going Shingo, Shingo, Shingo. And he says something in Japanese. Just does this like hand thing and does it Japanese. He says, "Thank you. I leave Texas as my second hometown. This belt, I don't know how Texas is his hometown, but okay. This belt,
Spicy.
because this belt, next. Who is next? Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody." And nobody comes out. So he says, "I come back. I promise." It says does a sign off in Japanese. And then the lights go out. Video starts playing.
Fashionably late.
Video starts playing. It happened last time. God's music starts playing. It's Tamatonga. He comes out. He says Vegas didn't go his way, and he can't let this shit go. Everyone wants the rematch. Takagi says, "Of course, but it will be in Japan on January 4th at Wrestle Kingdom." And I was like, "Heck yes, let's do this." And then
Mhm.
Tama leaves. We've got our match, and then the highlight of the post match, in my opinion, Takagi got a cowboy hat.
I did see this image, yes. And look how happy he is. It
Yep.
looks so natural on his head.
Yep.
Yeehaw.
Oh, yeehaw. Cowboy Takagi.
It just works.
It really does. It really does.
Oh, the wild, wild
Oh.
dragon.
But we have come to an end of another episode of NJPW Puroresu Review. Before we get to the sign off, so I just want to thank each and every one of you guys. Thank you all so much for liking the video, subscribing to the channel, commenting down below, sharing us out to every which person you can think about sharing us out to. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can alert every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello. You can find me on the X, Mastodon, Blue Sky, and Hive at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on our Facebook page over here at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk if you want to reach out to me there. Please go check out twitch.tv/our local establishment and youtube.com/at our local establishment, where you can find me doing Marvel talk. You can check out our Marvels review, where if you're really tired of hearing all these people bitch and complain about how much they hated, for some reason, women being in the lead of a movie, please go check out me and Ed talking about the Marvels, where we actually talk the positives and how much we love this movie. So please go check that out. You're going to really enjoy our review if you like this movie. And also check out a review of the Loki season 2. All that's out there. We will be back in December with the Marvel Talk Rebound. We'll be talking the first movie in the MCU, Iron Man from 2008. We'll be back to talk about that, so please join us for that. And then we'll be back probably in the new year with a review of the full season of What If, and then also in January again with a review of this full season of Echo. So please check us out there. Don't forget to go over to Backbreaker Video, where we are simulcast, where you might be watching us now. Please give them a like, and subscribe to the channel. Also, please check out Mike's Twitch channels for all his live content at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. All his great content over there, AEW watch alongs, all his great gaming content. And if you want replays of his gaming content, go to youtube.com/at backbreaker_gaming, where you can find him, Mr. Rick Jules, Mr. Pete JC, and their freaking guest, Miss Kayla J.
Kayla J. I love Kayla J.
We all love Kayla J.
Mm-hmm.
Melball, where can they
Yeah.
find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can find her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also catch me on our local establishment's original programming, Mindful. We're going through some schedule changes, so we're going to be going down to once a month now instead of bi-weekly. But we're going to let you guys know when we have a new episode coming out soon. You can also catch me on Astra Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our showcase for the ladies wrestling called Ladies Wrestling Showcase. Go figure. Nice simple name. It's been a hot minute since we did some chatting on there, though, because you guys like your booze and Astrid has to ship them to you. So we're going to hopefully get back on there in the next couple weeks before Christmas to talk all of things ladies wrestling. If you're wanting to watch NJPW, we will leave a link in the description box below. It is njpwworld.com. Why did I say it like that? Why am I
Uh,
singing?
because you
Oh
are
my goodness.
crazy.
Crazy. Anyway, njpwworld.com. It is 999 yen, or approximately $10 Canadian. Shadow Sean Spears are more like 950, according to that guy. But still an amazing price to watch some amazing wrestling. You can go on there and watch the show that we talked about today. You can go back there and watch the Super Junior Tag League that happened just before this if you have the time. You can go way, 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 way back into the vault and see a time where Hulk Hogan actually knew how to wrestle decently. All that and more at jpwworld.com. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Just thank you for all the great support, ladies and gentlemen. Really appreciate all of you.
And that being said, I am your mom. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Yes.